Hi guys, 14 Prime here, back with another video review, and today we're looking at the Transformers Furai model Shatterglass Drift. Now of course this is just a re-release of their Drift kit, but in Shatterglass colors. So I'm not going to go into as much detail as I would if this was the first time I reviewed the kit, so I reviewed Drift a while back. Look for that video for a bit more details, but anyways, let's get into it. Now this is basically like a mini version of their bigger one. I can't remember what it's called right now. The Furai something. Which I do actually want their Shatterglass Drift, like the bigger one, but just it's too expensive. I just cannot. But anyways, we get some nice colors. We get some. It's a much deeper purple. In person, camera just likes to make it look blue. And then scrolling up a bit here so you can see the head, which does look very nice. They actually painted the eyes purple as well, which is really neat. Which we'll get into the painted parts on this figure in a bit. But the only real paint work I did is I panel lined around the face a little bit. Which you can, let me actually get it closer. Come on, camera. Yeah, you can sort of make out. To add some pizzazz, but I didn't really do that much to this. But it still basically is just Drift, but in Shatterglass colors. He still has his swords, which still pull out the same way, same piece. I don't think these are a different color than the ones that regular Drift came with, but I painted regular Drift silver. And then of course, you can still, let's get this piece, come on, out of here. So pull out the bigger sword, which does still look quite nice, and is somehow less pointy than the smaller ones, but still pointy. Then of course you get the sheath. Like I can say, I do love the sword designs on this guy. I wish they were 5mm so I could like give them to other characters. So I'm actually going to set this to the side because I'm going to be honest, it's kind of a pain to handle this model kit when these things are all on them. Which these are the sheets that they're in, and the swords, of course. Which one thing I do want to mention that I don't think I mentioned in the regular Drift is that there's actually several of these parts you can swap out the colors for. Like you can make this inner piece red, you can make these leg pieces gray, for example. I know there's like one or two more on the body. Or it's like you can just swap it out for like either like red or gray, which probably wasn't fully intentional. It's more so like just the runners that they used just so happen to have those colors and they just had to use them twice. But it is kind of a happy accident. Which yeah, it's much easier to handle this kit like this. Which I still think it looks really nice. Like I love the shade of red because for the most part it's this nice, like, sort of metallic-ish red. But then you get little bits of, like, this non-metallic red, which I don't know if you can see the difference on camera. But it's, like, this red, and then the red on these is a different red than, like, the rest of the body. Oh, yeah, and then the red right there. Which, since we're back here, so on Shatterglass Prime, they actually painted some of the areas silver and added this really nice impact to the model kit. Whereas this time, these don't really add that much. Like, I love the color. Like, these pieces back here, I didn't paint. They were painted already, which I love the color there. They're like this, like, really light gold. I think it looks really neat, but it's just, it doesn't add much where they put it. Because it's just, you look at the kit from, like, this angle, and, you know, all of that is in the back. You can't see it. Which is quite unfortunate. Like, I kind of wish that instead they maybe painted, like, this area. Maybe. Like, there isn't, like, I wish they could have done detail paint, but they can only paint the entire part, unfortunately. Which one issue on this kit that I don't think I have on the Drift one is that these feet are, like, really loose. I don't know if, like, the peg isn't connecting all the way through or what, but they're just extremely loose. Like, let's go ahead and get the comparison of Drift, but just these, they're nice and tight. I don't know what's going on here. But anyways, let's get drift in here. Which, who knows, I might go back and do paint on this kit later on, but just honestly, I'm not a huge fan of this kit. Like, it's kind of just a, like, just due to the nature of drift design, it's just not the easiest kit to handle and mess with. Like, it looks fantastic. Like, this looks great. I love both of these a lot. But just, it isn't the most fun to handle. And then to bring in their other Shattered Glass re-release, there is Shattered Glass Pro. Which I do think these two look great together, and it makes me realize I probably should paint drift. I should do something to them. I might just add a bit of detail there and a bit of detail on the chest. Like, who knows? Maybe there's some other areas I can panel line. Just again, I'm not a huge fan of this kit. Like, it's not bad. It's just not the most fun to pose for me. But that's just my takeaway. You could absolutely adore this thing, and you totally can. And then one final comparison, because I got him. Here he is with regular Shattered Glass Drift, which I guess gives you your Generations Chug comparison for his height. All these kits are about, like, sort of Voyager height. Sort of. But it also look nice. I love the deep red compared to, like, the really bright red. I kind of wish there was more white accents, or just accent colors in general, instead of just red and then gray, and that's basically it. But it still does look great. Which he does have the same accessories as regular Drift, which is a pair of open hands, and then you got the grabby hands to hold swords, and then he has the neutral fists, which, how you swap them out, is you just pop this off, pop on the other hand, and bam, he can go to give you a high five and then probably stab you, because that's Shattered Glass Drift for you. Bam, I'm just gonna keep the neutral fists on him if I can get it back on. There you go. So let me actually zoom out just to here. For articulation, which the head can move up that far, go down real far. It can go, it probably could go a full 360, but just everything up here, like these are pretty thin. I'd be careful messing with it. The arms can go a full 360 if you move this flap and angle everything correctly. They can fold out. Has a nice double jointed elbow bend, which can get pretty far. Nice swivel there. Then the wrists, of course, can swivel. He does have an ab crunch, which is very nice. It goes down pretty far, and they can move up just a little bit, but that's all you really need. He has a slight waist, like I think maybe these are getting in the way. Like, he can sort of, he has a little bit. It's not much. It's about what you need, I guess. You can move these flaps forward and back, and then you can move these forward and back, which if you have these on, by the way, these can angle up and down, like so. For the sake of being thorough. There is a bit of a swivel here. There's a very nice knee bend. I always love the knee bends on these kits because it's just, you always get like that bit of reveal. I wish there was like mechanical detail sculpted in all the time. Like there is down here, like a little bit, but you know, I want more, man. I don't think these have a joint to move the leg, but they can go out that far, which I realized I forgot. The feet, they can move on this joint, and then they can move here. And then of course these can swivel, but for some reason on my copy they are ridiculously loose, which doesn't really affect standing, surprisingly. I guess the heel is doing most of the work. Just let me just pop these out, because I do need to show how the open hands work. We're going to take swords. So I think I stated these in the Drift review, but I hate how these hands work. It's either that or maybe back then I loved it, but just now it's like I keep dropping the fingers. Literally right before I filmed this video, I dropped the fingers when I was like pulling the sword out. But what you want to do is you have to take the fingers off like that. You slide the sword you want them to hold in, and then you take the fingers and you like push them back on. Which it's a very firm grip. Like it's not going anywhere. It's just really, really annoying to do. Which, just because I don't want to do it on the other hand, open hand. Which he does hold them fairly well. Like I kind of wish there was a joint to like point the sword, but there unfortunately is not. But it isn't the end of the world, because you can still get some fairly good poses out of this. Like this kit is fairly posable, like completely. Wait, does this move up? Oh yeah, it moves up right there. For some reason I was like, wait, was there a toe joint that I completely missed? See if I can get him standing. Come on. But yeah, overall, like, I still do like this kit. It isn't bad. It's just it's kind of weird to handle for me. Like some stuff just doesn't move like I wanted to. Like the shoulders have always been annoying because you gotta get it exactly into that flap. I kind of wish like that space was a bit bigger so that there'd be more room to play with, instead of just it has to be precisely that size. Like if they made this just like, because like look, it's like the size. It's like the size of the shoulder block, like that. You have to be really precise. Like I wish it was just a tad wider so that it wouldn't be as bad. But yeah, I also kind of just, again, I wish the painted parts had a bit more of an effect because they're all on the back. You don't see any of them, which is really unfortunate because I love how these Shattered Glass kits have painted areas. Just you don't get to see them. Like Shattered Glass Prime again, like you got these vents that were painted. You got the tires. You got the gas can. You got the face plate. Like it looks super nice. But then just on drift, it's all in the back. Like there's no like real visual flair unless you're looking at it from the back. Which again, come on, stand. Come on. But yeah, again, I still like the kit. If you want a Shattered Glass Drift and you don't want to pay for the Collector's Club one because it's ridiculously expensive, this is still a decent one to get. It's still a fun build. I still enjoy the Flame Toys kits. As long as they keep making new models and some Shattered Glass stuff, I'll definitely be buying. I'd love for them to do a Shattered Glass Starscream and Megatron from like the Morning Meets the Eye one. Because I actually debate about buying another Flame Toys Megatron to do like a Shattered Glass animated Megatron, which who knows, I might still do in the future, but for now, just probably not. Maybe we need a Flame Toys did one. It'd be fun. But yeah. Anyways, that is pretty much all I have to say. So, please be sure to check out my channel for more video and custom reviews, and please don't forget to subscribe. You just come check out my Facebook and Tumblr pages, links in the description below. You can also come join the Infinite Sun Discord server, also linked in the description below. And this is the 14th Prime, signing out.